All right, hey guys, welcome to another video. Hopefully the audio comes through on this. I know it's gonna be a little noisy around me, so I'm doing the best I can with what I have. But anyway, we're gonna clean the Golf R. It's kind of out of my element. I usually clean my car at home, but obviously I'm not home, I'm at school, and I really don't have the opportunity to, clean in a garage or, in a driveway. So these car washes are pretty much all I can do. So this is like $3. I end up only spending $3. I use, I think this is Meguiar's Gold Class car soap, and basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go around and pretty much show you guys my entire process when I clean cars in these car washes. So what I do pretty much to start off is I clean, or I start to spray down all of the really heavy contaminated areas, and this is really gonna be alongside the front doors, because of course, being a car, it's gonna turn and kick up a lot of stuff. And you know what, as I leave, I bet you I'm gonna kick up a lot of junk, and my freshly cleaned car is going to be dirty again, which that's just the nature of cleaning at a car wash and then driving home shortly after. So this process is pretty much just, so you can consider it to be a pre-wash, because I'm just trying to get down as much soap and lubrication as I can on these really dirty areas, because again, I'm not gonna spray this down until the end. So a lot of you guys are gonna see probably things that you may not agree with, and honestly, I side with that. It's not necessarily probably the safest way to clean paint, but I'm just trying to put a nice soapy layer on, so when I go with the mitt that's also has soap on it, with obviously lubrication, I'm not going to be really destroying my paint. My car is ceramic coated, which really helps, but there's only so much that can do. Another really disgusting area, if you guys own these cars, is pretty much the hatch, from exhaust output and like pretty much everything. I mean, it just all kicks up just being a hatchback, and even sedans this happens as well. You guys might be wondering why I'm not doing my wheels quite yet, and that's because I was driving and the brakes are going to be a little hot, and I don't want to introduce any water where it'll steam and potentially cause issues. So I let those cool down a little bit. That's pretty much the last thing I do anyway, as I do use the same wash mitt. I want to clean my paint first, so don't introduce any issues there. Again, top to bottom, that's pretty much the same exact cleaning order that I would typically do. I'm not using a 2-bucket method either. I'm trying to be a little bit efficient with water, but again, that's filled pretty much all the way. I have a grit guard. All right, so now the brakes aren't necessarily that warm anymore. They're gonna be warm, but they're not gonna be, scorching hot. And as you guys can see, it's a little bit cold and there's really no steam coming off them. So that's kind of what we wanna see. And even from this basic soap, it's not an aggressive soap, you can kind of see, we got a lot of brake dust. These brakes produce dust like you would not believe. They're very brake dusty. Now onto the washing phase. I always start with the hood and pretty much just try to do, one direction with the wash mitt. This wash mitt's it's a really good one. I have nothing but good things to say. I keep buying the same brand. I'm trying to remember what this one exactly is, but it's a good wash mitt. And I just do right above the fender and the badge right here. And then I'll do the other half of the hood. As you guys can probably see, it appears as though the soap is probably drying on. Usually I get a little bit of help when I'm doing this, which is nice because then I can kind of get the process done a lot quicker. But in this case, it's just me, and obviously this can be a one-person job. And don't worry necessarily too much about the paint or the soap drying to the paint, simply because this is not an aggressive soap. I haven't used much soap at all. In fact, this is mostly, it's very, very diluted. And that's only because, you know, I don't want it to cause any issue, because I do leave it on the paint for, you know, maybe I would say up to 5 minutes. And, you know, with an aggressive soap, you can obviously do some damage. So that's why I kind of use Gold Class. It's great. It's great lubricating soap. All right, so now on to the cleaning the wheel stage. You guys are probably gonna be like, why are you reusing this? I'm actually just about to toss this one out and replace it, just because I've had it for about 4 months, and it's not that it's really, you know, showing its age. It's good. I just don't like to keep these very long, just for the safety of my paint. So yeah, we're gonna do now is give the wheel a nice light scrub, because as you guys can see, we have some dirt here. I'm going to avoid the tire at all costs, and obviously work my way from the top of the wheel to the bottom of the wheel. And now I have my handy brush, and I just use this for cleaning off the caliper, because, you know, they're black calipers and they won't really show too much brake dust, but you can tell that they're pretty gross when they're dull. And also kind of a little bit behind the spokes. If I, you know, feel like I missed an area, just come in with a brush. This soap that's coming off is just the most disgusting color. This brake dust is just so gross, but it's satisfying to clean, I'll give it that. If you guys are wondering where I got this this blue R logo on my caliper, this is a Badgeskins R logo. I did a video installing a lot of those. I actually plan to maybe change up the color, because I did it right here and also on my caliper. So I might change up the color. I'm kind of thinking about a potential theme that I could follow. So if you guys have any ideas, just definitely comment below. I'm interested. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and my crinkly bills. Can't go wrong with those, right? Oh, I'm not listening. Oh, could you imagine? Yeah, this one might give some issue. All right. That should be good for 4 minutes, I believe. Yep, and we'll put it on rinse. Time to hose her down. All right, so one thing that I do as a finishing touch, and I know that water's just gonna keep running, but I'm just simply done. So I just take this ceramic wax Meguiar's. Again, I feel like I'm only using Meguiar's here, but I like this just because I think of it as sort of a top coat, and it just gives me a little bit more coating to work with each time I clean. I do this probably every other wash. And another thing that's nice about it is it lubricates the towel as I'm drying the vehicle. I do have a dedicated drying towel right there. But yeah, and you don't need much of it. That's the best thing. I mean, I've had this bottle for about 2 years now, and actually probably more than 2 years, and I'm getting a lot of uses out of it. We'll go right to the hood. Again, we'll just do one little spray here and one little spray here, and that should be just enough to spread across the car. Again, this phase is not necessarily drying, it's just reapplying a little bit more coating. I do have an actual dedicated ceramic coating on the vehicle, if you were wondering. Again, this is really not necessarily a ceramic coating when I'm spraying on. It's just sort of like a wax spray with maybe some ceramic properties. I believe they claim it to have that. And, you know, it is relatively hydrophobic. I had it on my GTI as well. But really the ceramic coating that's on the car is what I kind of see as the more effective method. Oh, it just sounds so darn good. Pull forward, and figured while we have it clean, we'll look at it. I'll show you guys what a $3 wash at a car wash, and honestly it should be a little bit more expensive, but I want to tell everyone watching now, because I know it's probably going to get brought up in the comments, you are not supposed to bucket wash at these car washes. But I you know what, I did it kind of when it wasn't necessarily busy, plus you know there was only one other person self-washing, so and they're currently doing it right now, so I wasn't necessarily that worried about it. But anyway, what we'll do right now is we'll just look at the car. I'll show you guys kind of what to expect. Are we in race mode? I want to hear the exhaust. Now we are. So that's kind of what to expect. I kind of did a bit of a haggard job drying the vehicle, but yeah, I mean, it looks good. I probably should touch up the Remus tips just a little bit. They're a little dusty. But aside from that, guys, holy guacamole, look at that shine. And also the wheels. I want to polish these wheels. I need recommendations on to kind of how to get rid of this dullness that they kind of are accumulating. I don't know if it's just built up brake dust, but I think they might just need a little bit of a polish. Bear in mind also that the barrel of the car, or the barrel of the wheel, I don't really do those because it's just a lot of scrubbing, and you know, with the amount of time that I have, I just don't want too much soap to dry onto the paint. You know what, I figured because the car is nice and clean, we might as well snap a nice picture of it as well, just to remember our moment at the car wash. All right, thank you guys so much for watching the video. We're almost at 5K subs, and I will promise some awesome content once we hit 5K. And obviously on our way to 5K, expect some great content, because guys, we're almost there and I'm so excited. So thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.